Hello, and welcome once again to part digital, part analog. I remember I went over this video, how to figure out the inputs and outputs of logic gates. I recall from a commentator, someone leaving a comment, that there was an error made. When I went back to to the book where I wrote it, what I was making was I was making marks over here. As you can see, this is the original. See, these are marks that I made. And it came out that this is a 1. See, this is a 1. But what I meant to say was the 0 and 0 over here. So it was a little misconfusing, obviously, but it seems like a 1. But if you have all 1s, which you need, then you'll get a 1. You don't have that over here, you'll have a 0. Thank you for the comment. Over here, let's go over this one also. I made a 1 over here. I shouldn't have done that. And you'll see I wrote over here 0 over here, and I corrected it, but it's very misleading. You need any one of these to be a 0. When any one of these is a 0, this will be a 1. We don't have that situation. Therefore, we get a 0. Look at the bottom numbers. Same thing over here. We need all of them to be zeros. We don't have that. We have a 1. So we're not going to get a 0 here. We're going to get a 1. Look at the bottom one over here. Okay? And so forth and so on and so on and so on. The rest of them are like the ones we did. Now, I did find something in a book. The book that I've been using, it's amazing. For automotive, the technical book that I use, the textbook, I come back to it because this is the best explanation, I believe, to the viewers. It's been 25 years, and still it remains to me the best material to teach, with diagrams and everything. Even though there's YouTube, and obviously I'm contributing to that, obviously, and I want people to see the videos. But I believe this is one of the best textbooks out there, even though it's 25 years old. Anyway, getting to the point. Getting to the point. Back of digital. See how even 25 years ago we were into digital, and we're talking about, this is the PCM. You want to call it the powertrain control module, the computer. You see, if everything coming in from the throttle position sensor, the sections that it goes into. If it's an analog signal, it has to be converted to digital. Sometimes you already have a digital signal, so it goes in digital. Analog to digital converter means it'll change it from analog to digital. This is digital. So, and then finally you have all these drivers. This is what, if you were wondering what drives the fuel injectors, this is what drives. It gives it a ground. The transistors going on and off. This is what's inside the computer. And this is what I used to spend time on, fixing these things, until, you know what, the customer said, you know what, no. Then, you know, it's too time consuming and it's not cost effective. So I'm not going to obviously spend 2-3 hours on PCMs now when it's cheaper to buy a new one, obviously. So, but I do sometimes do reflows, which is the pins going on and off, the boards making contact, which is pretty quick. So it's not that time consuming. Anyway, getting to what we were discussing over here. This is an input and output over here. This is a truth table. Whatever comes here is inverted. As you can see over here, 0 becomes a 1, 1 becomes a 0. Simple. Now let's go to something a little more better than I can explain. These pictures explain better than I can. We just said, like the commentator said, like he left me a comment, I forgot his name. You have all 1s, you get a 1. Look at the truth table over here. See, when you have both 1s, then you get a 1. If you don't have that combination, you get 0s. Now, I like the way they draw it, so if it's difficult to understand, look at this bulb over here. When will it light? We know we need a closed path for current to flow. It needs both. It needs both A and both B to be closed. So we need this one and this one. It's like saying both of them should be closed. I like the way they explained that. That's why I felt, to reference this. What about we look at an OR gate, right? This is, again, to the parallel switches over here. The OR gate is not an OR gate, it's an AND gate. So they put this over here. I don't know, they put the wrong symbol over here. But anyway, for an OR gate, what you need for an OR gate is either one of these could be closed. If A is closed or B is closed, then you get a 1. So this is what you see over here, a 1, a 1, a 1. When either one of them is 1, or both of them are 1. So this is what happens. This is not correct. Now, to this one's. NAND gate, same thing. When you have both 1s, you get a 0 instead of a 1. Now, this one, exclusive NOR, it's called. It's called exclusive NOR. That means when they are not the same, you get a 0. Oops. You'll get a 0 when both of these are not the same. No, there's an error over here. 1 and 0 is good for us. 0 and 1 is good for us also. Then we get a 0 at the output. When they are not the same, or when they are unlike, we should get a 1. So here they are not the same, we should get a 1, that's correct. But here also, they are not the same, we should get a 1. So this one over here that the printer put is incorrect. This should be a 1, because they are not similar. Anyway, see, even textbooks have mistakes, so anyway, that's how it is. Anyway, going on with other things, and for this, I thought that was very easy to explain things that I can explain in this textbook. This is one of the best textbooks out there, Automotive Technology. It really gives you a pictorial of how things are. Remember, this is 25 years. This is before the days of YouTube and videos where I was able to look and understand electronics, and before you had Scotty Kilmer and Chris Fix and all these things. You had to learn everything on your own. Today we have a lot of references, obviously, with YouTube, where we can see things, how to fix cars and all these things. It's much easier today than it was 25 years ago. 25 years ago, I was on my own. Go and work out there, electronics, and I had to break my head to try to figure out electronics on fuel injection. Very few people knew fuel injection electronics, and also how to be an expert in automotive. So it was difficult in those days, but I'm glad I mastered it. So now we have another video. I wanted to show you other parts of the video. Let me see if I can find it. Let me pause. Okay. Once again, I find good pictures that can speak louder in words than I can. We know we need a complete path to ground. Someone asked me, how is there a complete path? We know we're going from the positive through fuses, through switches. This could be your ignition switch. This could be your bulb. This could be your brake lights or headlamps, whatever it is. We have to come back from here to here. How do we go through that? Metal frame, you see? We go through a metal frame, go to the engine block, because that's a conductor. So now the negative goes from here, and it goes back to here. Whatever is conductive, we can use it. The metal frame is conductive, we can use it. The engine block, whatever it is, that gives us a conductor back to here. Okay? Now, about potentiometers. You remember I was speaking about potentiometers. Depending where you go, a potentiometer is like a variable voltage divider. If you have resistors over here in series, wherever you go will give you different voltage. Okay, but for this you need a lot of resistors, a lot of terminals, a lot of connections. If you go over here, you get 4 volts, here 6 volts, and so on and so on and so on. This is a symbol for potentiometer. Well, if we swing it back and forth, guess what? They call it a rheostat. But if you go back and forth, you can create this pattern. Let's go over here. If you swing this back and forth, either one, see, let's say one goes to ground, One side goes to ground, one side goes to 12 volts. Wherever you swing the wiper or the control arm, or you're either going to be either too close to 0 or going to be close to 12 volts, to the voltage divider, to the resistor. So if you're in the middle, you could be 6 volts. If you turn it, you'll be 7.5 volts. Why? You're getting closer to 12 volts. If you turn it all the way up in that direction, you'll be where? 12 volts. Now you're over here. If I go counterclockwise or the other direction, where will I be? I'll be going here. If I turn it even more, I'll be going where? 0 volts. That's what that is. Okay, let's go to the next one, if I can find it. Okay, this was one that I did a couple videos ago. You have a switch over here. You have a switch over here. Right here, this has to be closed. Anyway, you have 2 switches over here. You have a fuse here and you have a switch here. Simple circuit. Are these connected together? Yes, they are. They just don't draw the connection together. If this is a ground and this is a ground, that means it's the same point. Now let's go over here. Current flows, conventional current flows here, here, into the fuse, out of the fuse, into the switch, out of the switch to a lamp to illuminate that light. Now, if you wanna check the fuse, what do? With respect to ground, you go to here. One side should be what? 12 volts. That we always say. Why 12 volts? Because it's connected to the battery. What should be the other side? Just a piece of wire should also be 12 volts. And people ask me, why is it 0 volts? It's 0 volts because now when this opens up, it's not connected anymore. If we put a voltmeter over here, we're not connected to the 12 volts. So you can't have the 12 volts if you're not connected to it, because this is now open. When this is intact, we are connected by a piece of wire, so this is 12 volts. Okay, I hope that helped. I have more videos to go over. Please go to my channel, Joe Electronic Schematics for Auto. Yesterday was as far as views, as far as my minutes. I usually have like much better in minutes. I made short videos. When you have 3 minutes in videos and people only see 1 minute, not even 50%, so you're left with nothing. So I have to make longer videos like this one. Yesterday was horrific. As far as minutes, please go watch my channel, Joe Electronic Schematics for Auto. I think I'm the only person that probably has more likes than views in this channel. I don't even know how this channel is open sometimes. But anyway, I gotta continue. I need about 180 hours to go. Thanks for watching.